But the live stream is important because most of you will want the recording, and that was the point I was wanting to share. So now the live stream is working fine. Perfect, wonderful, and apologies for that confusion. Seems to be some technical configuration issue which had caused that. So again, welcome everyone back, or I'm connecting back with you. So welcome everyone in today's webinar, and we are just allowing everyone to join in and settle down. Although you're practically in your comfort zones, joining from your offices, from your organization, from your home. I'm not sure if there's anyone who's still joining us from home, but welcome everyone, and I was the first point which I was sharing with you was around the recording. So it is a common question that gets asked literally hundreds of time in our previous webinar. So I thought of answering it already. Yes, all of you will get the recording of today's session. In fact, I will also share the link. We will email the recording to you, but if you want, I can even share the link. It is getting live stream, so I can share the link of that. So just to keep that question aside, the second point which I'm going to share with you is about getting the maximum benefit from this webinar. You are obviously spending your valuable time here with us. So it is sort of our duty to ensure that you get the maximum benefit from the time that you're investing here. And for that, it is important that if there is a question, if there's a doubt, if there's anything which is not clear to you, you are able to get a response, or you're able to get that clarified from us. Now for that, you have to use a option called Q&A. So down below, if you look, there's an option which says Q&A. You have to use that to ask your question, and you don't have to essentially wait all the while and towards the end of the session when I will be done with my presentation, and then we'll start taking the questions. You don't have to wait all the while till that time. Whenever the question is in your mind, shoot it, ask the question. I will keep the Q&A panel open alongside on the other monitor. So if it is possible for me to answer that question, I will do that. If it is not possible, we'll take it up in the Q&A round when we get started with taking the questions towards the end. We will dedicate 10-15 minutes to answer your question. I'm joined here by two FIO officials, Mr. Manoj and Mr. Mukesh. So welcome, Mr. Manoj and Mr. Mukesh, to today's session. You have taken time out of your hectic schedule, so welcome to today's webinar. And
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm sure members are excited to connect with you and seek guidance from you. So I think this is where we should get started. I can see there are a number of participants who have just joined. So let me welcome them as well. So good evening and a warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. Now I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we will proceed ahead with today's discussion, which is around Indian Business Portal and how are you going to connect with international buyers or foreign buyers on Indian Business Portal. What is the procedure? In fact, we will also touch upon how you are going to join Indian Business Portal, because I can imagine, and I am quite sure that many of you are currently not present on Indian Business Portal. So how are you going to list your business, list your offering on Indian Business Portal? What is the process for that? We will also touch base on that. So that is something that we'll do secondary. And firstly, we will discuss the main topic, the reason why you are here, and that is how to connect with the international buyers on Indian Business Portal. But before that, I am going to give you some unwanted gyan, because it is important. And I had personally believed in the psychology that if your fundamentals are clear, and this is something that had been taught to us since our school times. I'm not sure if it is still taught, that if your fundamentals, if your basics are clear, then you are able to understand everything around it fairly quickly. You are able to make a sense of it. So that's where I'll spend couple of minutes of yours to help you understand about the Indian business world, what is the objective and what is the entire ecosystem, and then we will jump on to the topic. I hope that is all right with everyone. So this is where I am going to start sharing my screen, and we will proceed ahead with the presentation. While I am starting to share my screen, a word of advice that I would want to give is around the screen share only. In few of our previous webinars, what had happened that there were certain members who were not able to see the screen, what I was presenting. Why it was happening? It was happening because of two reasons. One, internet connectivity, which is obvious. The second reason was an outdated Zoom application. The Zoom application that you're using, it was outdated, and that was causing the issue with the screen share. So you should if you, God forbid, if you face that issue, that's something that you have to do. Check your internet connection. If that is not the issue, check the Zoom application. That most probably will be the issue. You have to just update that, and the issue will be fixed. Another thing that you should be doing, and I had received this complaint that one of the member was not seeing the entire screen, and then we investigated like what is happening there, and that's where we realized that the person was holding the phone like that. You should not, the moment I'll start sharing the screen, you should turn it around. You should hold it like this so that you're able to see the screen, especially if you're joining through a smartphone, or you're joining through a tablet. In that case, just turn it around, hold it horizontally in this way, and that is where you'll be able to see the screen in a better way. I know that mobile is a quite small screen, so some things may not be very visible or legible. So just allow it a couple of seconds to load up, and that should look perfectly fine. So let me also hide the irritating action window. So this is where we are getting started with the webinar, and the first help that I'll need from the audience is if you can confirm that you're able to see the screen. You can just chat using the chat option that you're able to see the screen, or you can use the raise hands option to just let me know that you're able to see the screen. So I think the participants are using both the methods. So, and a number of participants are confirming that you're able to see the screen. So wonderful. This is where we will get started. So once again, good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. In today's webinar, we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, that is how are you going to connect with international buyers in on Indian business portals. Sorry for the fumble. So let's begin. As I mentioned, I'm going to take a few minutes of yours to help you understand about Indian Business Portal, and then we will jump on to the main topic of today's discussion. So, the first thing that I want to share with you is what is the objective behind Indian Business Portal. We have created this platform, Indian Business Portal, which is jointly created by FIO, which is Federation of All India Exports Organization, and Global Linker. FIO is a export promotion body by the government of India, and Global Linker is a business networking and digitization enablement platform that helps businesses in creating their digital presence. And digital presence, I know, is a very fancy word. So if I have to simplify it and say it in a much more comprehensible manner, then giving them an option to start selling digitally. So we help MSMEs and businesses in doing that, so that they can start selling digitally and they can grow their business directly. So that is what Global Linker does. So Global Linker and FIO came together, and we have jointly created Indian Business Portal. But the question comes, what is the objective? Why have we done that? So it has two objectives. The first one is to help every exporter create their own digital presence. Now, that digital presence is not just having a profile on a particular platform wherein you are part and parcel of a platform. This is your own independent digital presence. Now, this term digital presence, again, it is used so much, and everyone has added their own connotations to it. So, this is your own entity on the internet, and I can still imagine that it is a little confusing. So let me switch the screen very quickly and show you a glimpse of what is digital presence I'm referring to. So here I've opened a bunch of websites, and I will also walk you through what are the different flavors of these online stores that you can create, but we'll do that a little later. But just to answer that point, because I can imagine I'm saying to help you create digital presence, your own digital presence, but what is that your own digital presence? So here we are looking at a website of a business that is into trading and export of these equipments which are used for stadiums and sports institutes, etc. So this is the website which is created by this business on the platform. So the entire technology, everything which is needed to create and run this platform, they have received it from Indian Business Portal, or they're utilizing it from Indian Business Portal. So this one example is another example. There are so many examples that I have. So I'm not going to spend your valuable time there. You can create it for B2C, B2B, and most of the examples that I'm going to take you through, they are exporters, right? So just a glimpse of what I mean by your own digital presence. So similar to the examples that I showed you, similar to that, you will also be able to create your own website. That is one objective. Now, why is that one of the objective? Because honestly, look around yourself and you will certainly know a exporter of phenomenally good products, but does not have any digital presence. Forget about the website. They don't even have an email ID. And I know of those exporters, and certainly you must be knowing them. So there are these businesses, and unfortunately, as a country, that is a significant challenge that we face. Because of that, our businesses can't be discovered online. If they are not discovered online, if people can't find you, how will they do business with you? Right? So that is one challenge or one problem that Indian Business Portal is aspiring or endeavoring to solve. We are trying to solve that so that anyone and every one of you, when you are joining, when you are trying to list your products on Indian Business Portal, you are also creating your own website, your own online store. It is up to you if you would want to use it as a separate website, or you want to continue with your existing website. But for listing, you all get that option, and it is a fairly feature packed option. So you should certainly consider using that extensively as well. So that is one objective. The second objective is to collectively present you all, or your collectively present your offering in front of international buyers. And it is something I don't think I have to explain logically. If uh, we have to promote hundreds and thousands of exporters, promoting each one of them individually is almost impossible. But if we bring them all together in one platform and then promote it, that can be done, and that is already happening. So these are the two objectives of Indian Business Portal. And now the entire ecosystem. Now, why am I spending your valuable time here? Because the ecosystem is so extensive that you don't tend to get a bird's eye view of it. So just to give you the bird's eye view of the entire ecosystem, and more importantly, to help you understand what are the islands of opportunities, because unless you don't understand that, you may not be able to work on them and then try to grab those opportunities, right? So that's why you should be absolutely aware, like, where are the opportunities? Where should I focus? You should be absolutely clear on that. So this is your business. What you are going to do is you'll be creating your online store, and that online store will get linked with Indian Business Portal, and that is how you are going to get listed on Indian Business Portal. That is how the process will work. Now you have done that. What next? So FIO will put in effort to bring international buyers through various non-digital and digital efforts. And these international buyers will come to Indian Business Portal, and they will review your offering and they will do business with you. So that is one island of opportunity that you have. What is the other island of opportunity? The other island of opportunity is your own online store. You can run your own marketing, your own promotional campaigns, and bring international buyers onto your own website, your own online store, and convert them into leads and orders there. And the third island of opportunity is the business community. When you are joining the ecosystem, that is where you are also becoming part of a community that has members from 150 countries. So you can network with them, you can do business networking with them, and you can explore opportunities there. There may be a international business that may be wanting to import your products, and you can connect with them, explain them about your offering, and grow business there. All right. So this is the entire ecosystem I wanted to walk you through. Now I'm going to switch this screen and very quickly I'll take you to Indian Business Portal. This is the Indian Business Portal, the live website that you're looking at on your screen. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to firstly touch upon the main discussion points in today's webinar, and that is how are you going to connect with foreign buyers on Indian Business Portal. There are two methods or two processes through which you are going to connect, although there is a third one also, which is business networking. But more importantly, on Indian Business Portal, there are two processes through which you will be connecting with international buyers. And what are those? The first one is, which you can see here, this is where international buyers who are coming to Indian Business Portal and they decide to publicly publish or publicly share that this is what we want to import from India. And if you happen to be an exporter who has this product, then please approach us. So this is the post buying requirement. And obviously, this is not the place where I want you to click. But if you scroll down on Indian Business Portal, this is where you'll see there are various requirements which are displayed here. You might be thinking like at the moment there are only just two requirements, but if you click on view all, because these requirements are only visible or they're only valid for a particular period of time. So here you can see there's a requirement from Philippines which is requiring urea liquid N25. There's a requirement from Jersey, bricks and carpets. There is a HPCL laminates requirement from Israel. So there are multiple requirements which are there. Now, if you happen to be an exporter who is in this business line and you can certainly export these products, then what should you be doing? So you should be clicking on click here, which will open another browser tab. So the browser tab is opening up. This form is very simple. You may think like, why is he wasting our time taking us through such a simple form? But there are a few points that I would want to highlight. So let me walk you through. The first point is the requirement. So you may see the requirement here. There is a rug and carpet requirement, but it is important that you should be absolutely clear about the requirement before you start submitting the requisition. You shouldn't be blindly submitting the requisition, and it has happened in the past. And few have started the practice wherein they extensively review each of the submission and then filter out the unwanted or wrong ones and then share it with the international buyer, because it has happened in the past that wrong submissions were made and then international buyer got irritated because of that. So to avoid that scenario, it is better that you review the requirement details which are listed here. This is what I'm referring to. This is where you can see the requirement details, review it, and when you are absolutely clear, if you have a question, please do feel free to reach out to FIO. They'll be able to provide you a clarification from where can you get the details. So if you scroll down on Indian Business Portal, I'll just quickly do that. So here you'll see the email ID. In fact, I will share that in the chat right away. Have share that in the chat. So this is the email ID on which you should send the email. It is very simple. It is IBP, which is a short form for Indian Business Portal at fio.org. So on that email, you can drop an email and do mention about the which RFQ you are referring to. So you can seek or you must seek clarification if you are confused, you are not clear about the requirement. Be seek clarification, ask questions, and once you are clear, then proceed ahead to submit the response. But the time is of essence here because, as I mentioned earlier, each RFQ is only valid for a particular period of time. So if you spend a lot of time in evaluation, you may overshoot the time limit and you may miss out on submitting the response, right? So be cautious of the time frame as well, time limit as well. Now, with respect to the form is very simple. I'll just quickly walk you through the form: email ID, company name, mobile number, IC code, whether you're a manufacturer or merchant exporter. You have to upload your factory or MSME certificate, your IC, your RCMC, COs, or any other export promotion council if you're a member. Upload the RCMC certificate. Are you listed on Indian Business Portal, your online store's URL? And then what is your experience of exporting this particular product? Now, this is where you have to explain the experience we have seen in the past. And this is another point that I wanted to highlight, because all the other points that you have seen, they are all informational, and every business will be providing those information. So based on the informational points, it is absolutely impossible to do that judgment that I should choose A or I should choose B, right? It is not possible based on these points. So this is where, when it is asked that what is your experience, you should share your experience, and you should not type just yes, we have experience. And in case you're a startup or a new business who does not have the experience, in that case you should mention what is that unique thing that you're bringing on the table. Just imagine that there's an international buyer standing in front of you. They've liked your product, they're absolutely impressed, but they ask you this question like, you don't have an experience like other players or other exporters, but we would like to consider you. But if you can let us know why should we choose you and not choose you, obviously you will say something. This is what unique we are bringing onto the table. This is specialization. This is the sourcing or manufacturing process. So add that so that you can give a reason to the international buyer for choosing you. You have to give a reason. Why should they choose you? You have to give them a reason. So that is this one point. Now, the second point is, do you have experience of exporting to Jersey? And then tell us about your capabilities. This is where you have to explain or talk about your business, your capabilities, your USPs. If you have a state-of-art manufacturing process, things like that, so that again you're giving a reason to the international buyer for choosing you, right? This is something where you have to be little detailed, you have to be little elaborate in drafting this response. And I don't think it is worth mentioning that if you are cautious that your English is not that good, use AI tool, but submit your acquisition and provide a detailed response. At the end of the day, I think I've told you in a very simple language. You have to give a reason. Why should they choose you? Obviously, they'll not be choosing everyone. Why should they choose you? You have to give them a reason, and that is what you have to write. If you're not comfortable writing it yourself, ask an AI. AI will be able to do that, and you don't have to like go for a fancy subscription. Even ChatGPT or Gemini, or even the Chinese ones can do that, right? So you can use AI also, or my suggestion is everyone should use that, right? It will just make it richer. Your response will be much richer. It will be more comprehensible. Like it will be shorter, easier to understand. So why not? Everyone should use that. Why only the ones who are not very confident about their English, right? So that is one process. I hope that is clear. Now, related to this, sometimes people have asked me this question that we have submitted the response, but we are not sure. So be a little clear on the timeline. So once this time ends, so for example, it ends today, just talking hypothetically, then PO's team will start reviewing the responses, and they'll take about a week to review that, and then they will share it. Or if they are able to do it sooner, they'll share it with the international buyer, and then international buyer will review, and then they'll get back. So they will take about 2 weeks. So you should assume around 3 weeks time that typically it will take for the buyer to make that decision that these are the exporters with whom we'll be doing business. But still, if you want to check, again, you can drop an email, give the reference of the RFQ that you had submitted, and then FIO team will be able to check and get back to you what is the status, and when you can expect to get a response. All right. So that was the first process through which you are going to do business with international buyers on Indian Business Portal. What is the second process? The second process is wherein international buyers are not going to do this, wherein they are publicly displaying that this is what we are wanting to import from India. No, they are not doing that. They are looking for exporters so they can use the navigation that we have here, a very extensive navigation that is there. So they can use the navigation, or they can use the search is also customized to meet the requirements of international buyers. So they have option to search by the product name, they can search by the supplier name. So if they come to know that there is a popular exporter by this name, so they can search by that exporter's name also, or they can search by HS code as well. So you can search by HS code, or buyers can search by HS code, which is also a very popular practice followed by international buyers. So when they are looking for products, they search by HS code, and that requirement is also taken care of on Indian Business Portal. So whether they'll go through the navigation, or they'll search through the product, or they'll use the HS code feature, but they will uh, find you as a supplier. So I've opened the profile of one of the exporters here, and I've done that deliberately simply because of the reason that this particular exporter has added more certificates so that I can show you. So that's why I've open their profile. Otherwise, there's no bias with that. So this is this particular exporter's profile. So this is where you can imagine that there's an international buyer and they're wanting to import these ethnic garments from India, and they have come across the profile of this particular exporter. Now they are going through the profile, they can see the entire catalog, all the products which are there. They may come across the products like this. So this is where we can see this is a particular exporter's product. So we can see their product. This is the product. We can review the detailed information which is there. And if we click on the name of the exporter, that will take us to the profile. And this is something that every international buyer does, that they would want to understand more about your business before they take that decision of contacting you. They would not want to waste their time and energy on an exporter that does not meet their requirement. So that is where they will click on the product title, and they will come here. This is where they'll see the entire product catalog. That's one thing they would want to review. Now, in addition to that, they would certainly want to understand more about your business. So that's where you can see about us is there. This is again something which is done on Indian Business Portal to meet those requirements of international buyers, because seeing a product is one thing, but they would also want to understand who is this business, or what is this business, who owns it, and then what is their background when they started, do they have export experience, etc. So all those details, if you see, they're all captured here. On the top there's the description of the business, and at the bottom there are certain details which are there. So all the details are explained here. So international buyer can review this information. In addition to that, as I mentioned earlier, so there are certificates that you can display on your profile. In here you can see there are a number of certificates this particular exporter is displaying on the profile, and the international buyer can review these certificates, and they can be absolutely certain that this is a genuine business and we can confidently do business with them, right? So all the confusions, questions, queries, whatever you want to call them, they're all answered by all this information. So this is a crucial piece of information. I am just trying to stress on the fact that, and why am I doing that? Because this is sort of a uh, behavior I have seen, that people tend to put in a lot of emphasis on the product information, right? So visuals should be fantastic, the product, the business and product description should be fantastic, but they overlook the business side of information. Your entire digital presence consists of two types of information. One is the product information or the service information in case you're a service provider, and the second component is your business information. That is about your business, right? And your business story, your history, etc. All that. Now, this side, which is the business information side, it often gets overlooked and only the product side is looked at. Obviously, because the product is what the customer is interested in. And we have obviously worked out of that brick and mortar thinking. So that is the reason why there's a lot of emphasis on that. But at the same time, if we don't create good quality content around your business information, then what will happen is that there will be an international buyer who will come across your profile because they liked your product. But because there is very little information that you have added with respect to your business profile, business information, they may go to one of your competitors or a business who has added more information than you, right? So don't overlook it. The only point or suggestion that I'm trying to make to you is that whether you're doing it here on your website, on your own website, in case you have already created, this is a very crucial piece of information. And again, when you are creating that entire content, don't do it just blindly. This is our story. This is also research for what are the relevant keywords which are used and then embed them into your content. So that will also give you an edge with respect to the search engine optimization. Again, let's not get distracted. Otherwise, I'll end up wasting a lot of your time. So again, coming back onto the profile. So this is where we are talking about a scenario wherein there's an international buyer who came to this profile. They look at the entire catalog. They were impressed. They reviewed the about us section, and that's where they reviewed the business information. They reviewed the certificates. They were impressed. They have taken this decision that we are going to now reach out to this business. And how are they going to do that? So the most popular method used these days is request meeting. So this is where you can see the request meeting. So they will use this option to schedule a meeting with you. Now, when they schedule a meeting, they will select the platform, like whether they would want to do it on Zoom, Google Meet, etc., on a particular date and time. Now, this information will be shared with you, and that is obviously a logical question that will be coming to your mind, like, okay, they can schedule a meeting with us. Wonderful. Uh, how do we know that a meeting is scheduled? So you'll get an email update. In addition to that, and for a quick moment, I'll switch my screen and I'll take you to a demonstration account. This is a demonstration account. Now, if you go to apps and plugin, this is where you'll see my meetings. So this is where you'll see the meetings. Obviously, I haven't set it up, so that is why you're not seeing it. But on this place also. So in case you're not sure about the emails, or sometime what happens, you get so many emails in a day that there may be a scenario that certain emails might get overlooked. So just spend a couple of minutes, come here and check if there's a meeting which is scheduled. You can also set up your calendar here that I'm available from Monday to Saturday or Friday, and this is my timings. And based on that, it will show the options here. This is a very popular method, and that is why I am requesting all of you that once you are done with the setup of your online store, please do go to this section. How do you go to this section? So you have to click on apps and plugin and my meeting and set this up properly. You don't want a scenario that a international buyer has scheduled a meeting with you and you're not able to attend. That is a lost opportunity. That is the last thing that you would want to do. So absolutely set this up. It will hardly take you 2 minutes to set it up, but a very important thing. So that is one method. The second method is contact seller, which you are seeing here. So they'll click on contact seller and you will get a message with their contact detail. This is the name, this is the email ID, this is the contact number, and then you have to respond back to them. You can connect with them over the phone, or you can reach out to them over the email and then schedule a meeting and then take the discussion forward. Now, again, the question comes, how will I know as a exporter that I have received a contact request from an international buyer? So you will get an email. In addition to that, these are displayed on the seller panel. So here, this is the place, contact us messages. That is where this is displayed. So again, every day or alternate day, you can go there and you can check if there's a contact us request so that you're not missing out on that. The third method is they can use the visit store option, and they will certainly do that to review or understand more about your business. But here you can see there's a page where contact information of your business is displayed on your contact us page. So they can even call you or reach out to you on the email. So they can email you or they can even call you directly that we come across your profile on Indian Business Portal. We are interested to do business with you, and then take the discussion forward, right? So these are the methods through which you will be doing business on Indian Business Portal. Now, quite frequently had been asked this question: is there a place where we can get the international buyers contact information? They are not publicly displayed on Indian Business Portal. Obviously, we value their privacy requirements. So, but if you want help, you can reach out to FIO. You can drop an email on ibp@fio.org, and FIO can review and understand if they'll be able to help if they have some data that they can share with you. So you can drop an email on that email ID that I shared with you. But on Indian Business Portal, you'll not be able to get. These are the two methods using which you will be able to connect with international buyers. There was a third one also which I mentioned. So I'm going to switch this screen, take back to this demonstration account that I was talking to you about earlier. So this is the home screen, and all of you will get this kind of an account. So you have to log into your account, and then you can use this option, which is connections. Click on that. It will take you to the add connections page, or you can use the search also for that. But let's go to add connections. So on this add connections page, you will be able to filter out the members based on the country, based on the industry. So filter them out, and then you can connect with them. So you have to send a connection request similar to how you do it on Facebook or LinkedIn. And once the member has accepted your connection request, you'll be able to communicate with them. You'll be able to send them a message that this is what I do. If you're interested, we can connect, and you can even take the discussion offline from the platform. So this is the third method which is available to you, and which also is something which I recommend that you should consider utilizing to connect with overseas buyers. So these were the three methods through which you'll be connecting with international buyers. Now, this is where we will now get into the second chapter in today's discussion, and that is how are you going to become part of Indian Business Portal? I'm not sure how many of you are part of Indian Business Portal. And while we do that, or before we do that, let me quickly have a glance on the questions which are there. So there's one question from a member who's facing some issues. So I'll connect you, or I'll share the relevant link. So let me answer this question for everyone. The participant's question is that I don't have technical know-how. I don't have a good computers background, and I need help that someone can create this online store for me. Is there service available? Yes, it is available. And in case any one of you is interested in utilizing that service, then you have to just go to Indian Business Portal, scroll down all the way to the bottom. So all the way to the bottom of the page, that's where you have to go. And this is where you'll see there's this option, which is link out store online builder package. Click on that and subscribe to a package as per your requirement. So this is the option which is available. You can use that. All right. So that was the first question in the chat. The second question. Next question is anonymous attendee, and I think that question is related to the RFQs which I was showing to you these requirements. So the question is, are you asking us to fill up the Google form to ask an importer to choose us? You are filling the Google form to tell the importer that you are willing to export these products or supply these products. Now, while you are filling this form, you have to give them a reason, because hundreds of exporters may be filling this form. So if they have to choose from those hundreds, 5 exporters or 10 exporters, how will they do that? So you have to give them a reason. That is what I was suggesting. I hope that is clarified. All right, so let's. Those were the two questions I had in the Q&A. So we have done that. Now we are going to start discussing the second chapter in today's discussion, and that is how are you going to list your product or services on Indian Business Portal. Now, for that, the very first thing that you have to do is to open Indian Business Portal. You have to just type indianbusinessportal.in in the browser, or you can search for Indian Business Portal, and this website will open up. On this website, you'll see there's an option which says sell on Indian Business Portal, register as Indian exporter. This is where you have to click, and this page opens up. Now, here you have to click on this button which says create your catalog, right? Now, before you do that, I will recommend that you should review this page. This is a fairly informative page, especially the FAQ section that you're seeing here. So this is where we have added responses to the most frequently asked question. So it will help you understand or get answers to those questions which you may also have. So a suggestion, not necessary you have to do that, but a suggestion from my side. Now, once you are on this page, as part of the store creation journey, you have to click on create your catalog, which will open this page. On this page, you will see we have embedded a tutorial video here. You have to watch this video. This is a sincere request that I'm sharing with all of you, that you should review this video. And this is the video. It is, I think, about 19 minutes. So if you go through this video, you'll be able to understand what is the entire process of creating your online store and what all information is required, so that you can collect all that information, and then you can go through this journey that will help you go through this in matter of minutes, right? So it will be much more easier. It will be much more comfortable for you to go through this journey. So please do watch this video. Now I'm going to use the video to walk you through the rest of the journey. Obviously, it does not make any sense if we are uh, playing this video. That will not be a good use of your time. So I will not be playing the video. I'll just walk you through. Obviously, video is available, so you can watch it in detail whenever you have time. So this is the first step, which I've already explained to you, that you have to go to Indian Business Portal, click on register as Indian exporter, which will bring you to this screen. On the screen, we clicked on create your catalog, and it brought us here. This is the page from where we opened the video. So here you have to enter your name, your email ID and password, click on agree and continue. In the next screen, you have to do the OTP verification of your mobile number, and then you have to input your GST number. It is crucial. So a lot of businesses asked me, or a lot of participants in my previous webinars had asked me that why do you need our GST number? So it is for business verification, because we have to be also sure as a platform that it is a genuine business. And this is something which I'm not making up. But of late, there had been so many instances of impersonation, wherein some fraudster has impersonated a business, and we have to be absolutely sure that it is you're not a fraudster, or it is your business. So that is where this GST information is then tallied with the government database. So that is where it is a verification process and a crucial process. All of you should do that. If you're not doing this, you will not be able to publish your store and list on Indian Business Portal. Next, you have to input your name, your company type, legal entity type, proprietorship, partnership, your location, and the rest of the location details will get auto-populated, so you don't have to input that. It will get auto-populated. Click on next, which will bring you to the screen. On the screen, you have to select an industry. You can do that from the drop-down, or you can use the search. You can just type your industry name, and you'll be able to select a relevant option. The last screen, this is last screen with respect to the profile creation. So this is where you have to select a industry or activity that you're involved in. So manufacturer, export, obviously export is there. And once you are done selecting the options, it is multi-select. Obviously, you can select as many options as you want, but select it diligently. You shouldn't be selecting wrong options, because AI is going to use this information for matchmaking. So if you're not selecting the right option. Then this is something which you can change as well. So tomorrow, if you start another activity, you can go to your profile and you can update it, but select it cautiously. So once you have done the selection, you'll come to this page. Now, this is something, the screen, I am trying to get it eliminated, and it will happen in sometime in 1 or 2 weeks. Hopefully, we'll be able to remove this step altogether. But what is happening at the moment, and despite all the tutorials and all the hand holdings, etc., still what is happening, many of the users, they are coming here immediately, they see the option product, then they start uploading the product. If you're using this feature, if you're using this option to upload the products here, this is the option I'm referring to, you'll not be able to list on Indian Business Portal, right? You'll have to use this option only. So till the time we bring in a tech intervention and we hide this screen altogether, please click on convert now. I'm just repeating it. When you see the screen, don't do anything else. Just click on the convert now button. Once you have clicked on it, it will ask you three simple questions. What type of business you are into, approximately how many products you have, and would you like to have the minimum order quantity feature, which will bring you to the next screen. On the next screen, there are a number of design templates that you will see. You have to select any one of them as per your choice. And if you don't like any one of them, you can easily change it. So it is not necessary that you have to use it till eternity, the same template. You are not getting married to it. At any time, after 1 week, after 1 month, after 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, whenever you want, you can choose another template, or you can switch to another template. Obviously, you'll have to resize or recreate the banners, etc. But it's a fairly simple process that you can do. Now, related to this, there are few confusions or queries that we have constantly been receiving or are help desk. So I understand what are those questions. So I'll try to answer those questions so that you don't have those confusions, or your questions, in case you had those questions in your mind, those are also answered. So the first confusion or myth that I've seen some people have, and that is related to the visuals which are here. I'm not sure how big it is on your screen, but if I am referring to this one, this is where the visuals of electronic products are used. Now, what people feel, or not everyone, some feel that this is a design template which can only be used by businesses that are dealing in electronics. So any business who's into agri product or heavy construction equipment, etc., they can't use it because this is only for electronic product. No, these visuals are only for representation purpose. They are only for example purpose. Any template can be used by any business. So don't get confused on that. The next question is a problem that all of us face. And the problem is, how do I choose a suitable template? Everything looks good unless you are an extremely creative person and you can just close your eyes and you can visualize like this is the template I will be using because this will showcase my business and my products in the most beautiful manner. We can't do that, including myself. We can't do that. So we are confused. How should we choose? So this is a procedure that you can follow. You have to go through this journey, which I'm explaining. And once you are done, upload few products, go to the theme section, apply a theme, see how it is showing your products, and then apply the second one, see how it is showing your products, right? So you'll have to spend half an hour, 45 minutes, but you'll get an absolute clarity in terms of which is the template that is showcasing your products in the most beautiful manner. Obviously, you will have to upload 1 or 2 products, and then only you can do that activity, but you will be able to understand absolutely. It will not be a hunch game that this looks beautiful, let's select that. No, you will actually be able to see that which is the theme that is presenting your product or service in the most beautiful manner. All right. So that is this step. Again, in real life, it will hardly take you few seconds. So we will skip that and we'll move to the next screen. This is the third and the last overlay in case you're thinking like it is going from one to another to another. This is the third and the last one, and this has two input fields. The first one is the store name, which you can see here. This is the field I'm referring to. So it will be pre-populated. It will not be empty. So here your business name will already be there. If you want to change it, if you want to make any edits to it, you can do that. Or you want to create the store in the name of your brand, you can also do that. And then we have store URL. So store URL is something that we type to open the website. So, for example, if you have to open Google, we type google.com. Similarly, tomorrow, if someone has to open this online store that you're creating, this website that you're creating, what should they be typing? That is what we are trying to specify here. Now, that leads to another very common question, and that is, we have our own domain. Can we use that? The answer is absolutely yes. But just to help you understand this point in a little better way, I'm going to take you to this browser tab where I had opened a few examples. So this website you can see, or this online store you can see, they have this URL afreehouse.co.in. So this is their own domain, and they have decided to take the store, the online store which is created on the platform, live on their own domain. Is it necessary to do? No, it is not necessary. You can continue to use Linker.store. So, for example, this particular business that is into the manufacturing of matchsticks, you can see they are using Bavi Apex Industries.linker.store. So, if you want to continue using Linker.store, which is our subdomain that we are providing to you absolutely free of cost, if you want to use it, we can do that. If you want to take it live on your own domain, you can do that. We are not influencing this decision. It is your decision, your own domain. We will, in fact, help you in pointing your domain. And if you want to continue Linker.store, you can do that. Now, curiously, many times people have asked me this question: why are we doing this? Why are we providing our subdomain? So the reasons are twofold. One is to make this journey as convenient, as simple as possible. Because imagine, and I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with domain management. So if we had asked you to point the A record from the DNS of your domain, I'm not sure how many of you even know what I said. So it would have been overwhelming for you, right? You'll agree. So to simplify that, and second reason, and that is also equally important, is to give a sustainable digital solution to MSMEs. What do I mean by that? There's no environmental sustainability that we are doing. We are not talking about that. We are talking about long-term sustainability. Yeah, you're able to use the solution over a long period of time. How does that make sense? So if you're familiar with web development, you'll agree that there are a number of cost heads associated with website development and operations. For example, you have to get the domain registration renewed, you have to get the SSL renewed. And SSL, I'm not talking about the wildcard SSL, a positive DV SSL that costs a couple of thousand rupees every year, and hosting. And on the platform, you are getting hosting on a PCI DSS certified infrastructure. The certification itself cost few lakh rupees. So you're getting all that absolutely free of cost. Now, coming back to the point that I was making, that because of these cost heads, a lot of MSMEs, they shy away from creating their digital presence. They are aware that digital is the way forward, and they have to adopt digital ways of doing business, especially selling. They have to start selling digitally. They have to start generating leads digitally. But because of these cost heads, they are intimidated, or they shy away from doing it. And to help them overcome this challenge, to make it as easy as possible, because if you're using Linker.store, you don't have to worry about domain renewal, you don't have to worry about SSL, you don't have to worry about hosting, and the platform is so easy to use. Even a school student can use that, right? So to help them overcome all these challenges, that is why we are offering Linker.store. All right. So a simple field. Now, what are you expected to do here? You are expected to type in your business name without space or any special character, and the limit of this box is 25 characters. So if you have a really long business name, then you may have to do a little bit of editing with it. Let me show you what I meant. So here you can see the business name is Reliable Fashion Enterprises, and Reliable Fashion Enterprises without space or any special character. Numbers is something that you can use. You can use numbers or alphabets, but no space, no special character. So that is the URL field. And once you click on Create Store, you will see magically there are so many options on the left hand side. But before you get carried away and you start exploring what are these options, you have to click on this button, which is Store Setup, and that will pop up and you'll see there were four steps and you have done three of them. Wonderful. You have to do one more step, and that is create your catalog. Once you click on it, it will take you to the screen, which is basically you have to feed in the information to upload a product. Mandatory, you have to, or compulsorily, you have to upload one product. If you have more product, and this is also something that sometime had been asked from me in previous session, that we have our catalog ready, we are already selling on X marketplace, Y marketplace, and we have the data ready in Excel, can we upload that? Yes, certainly you can do that. In the video also I've explained from where you can go and download the import format, you can punch in, or you can copy paste the data into the format and you can upload it from here. That is explained. In fact, I can also share with you a detailed tutorial video wherein I've explained how you can upload the products in bulk, and a thumb rule which I always share with uh, participants, audience, or friends, that if you have to upload more than 10 products, do it in bulk. Otherwise, it is criminal on your own party, right? You're doing injustice to yourself. You're wasting your own time. You shouldn't do that. So if you have to upload few products, like two, three products, in that case, you can do it like this by feeding in the information on the page. But if you have to upload more than 10 products, do it in bulk, right? So coming back to this form, it is very simple and it is explained in detail in the video. So I'm not going to spend your valuable time there, but there are two fields which I'm going to explain. The first one is GI product, because it happens to attract a lot of questions. That is why I'm going to explain that. So this is GI product, and the layout, you will notice it is slightly different as compared to what you're seeing on the screen. So instead of these drop downs being up one below another, they'll be horizontal, adjacent to each other. That is the difference. Otherwise, everything else is the same. So layout is the same, but the functionality and the functioning of the field, it is the same. So the first point that I want to discuss with you is GI product. Now, curiously, you might be wondering, what is GI product? So GI are geographic indication or the specialty products of a region. And you'll notice that they have a special place on Indian Business Portal. This is the first navigation, geographic indication of India. Now, these can be agriculture, foodstuff, healthcare, manufacturing, natural products, etc. They can be across multiple categories. Now, let's look at a GI product. So I'm taking you to Varanasi, and Banarsi sari is a popular GI product, but they are also very popular for their wooden lacquer toys. So let me show you one of the product. So this is a wooden Ganesh ji that we are looking at from Varanasi, and this is where you'll see it carries a GI product emblem. And here you can see more details about the GI product. It is a GI product wooden lacquer toy, Varanasi wooden lacquer toy to be precise. So these products which you are specifying as a GI product, this is how they are highlighted. Obviously, they attract more attention because these are the specialty products from India. Now, if you have to specify, or if you have to highlight your product as GI product, how will you do that? What is the process? So you have to select obviously the button GI product, and that will activate the drop down. So you have to select the GI category, and then you have to select the GI subcategory. And the last thing that you have to do is to upload the GI certificate. You have heard it right. Without uploading the certificate, you will not be able to specify your product as a GI product. Related to this, often we get questions from where we can get the GI certificate. So there's a GI registry in Chennai. You can search online, you'll be able to find the details. You have to connect them, you have to contact them and uh, get the certification from them. They'll be able to share with you what all documentation details, etc., are required, and you'll be able to get a GI certificate from them. In case you had that question, I thought of answering that. So this is one point I wanted to share with you. The second point is around the categories. And again, you'll find them horizontal, one next to each, one next to other. And there will be a toggle button which says list on IBP. Switch that on. Now, you have to select a category and subcategory. Now, why do you have to do that? The reason is that you have to showcase your product at a respective or a specified place on Indian Business Portal. Now, for example, you happen to be an exporter of honey, just talking hypothetically. Now, you'd want your products to be displayed here, right? Because anyone who is wanting to import honey from India, they'll be coming here. Either they'll search or they will come here and they'll click on honey. See, your product, if you happen to be a honey exporter, should be in this honey category, right? Now, how will you ensure that it is displayed at the right place? So you have to use the drop downs. You have to select uh, two drop downs. First is parent category and second is subcategory. And through these drop downs, you have to specify, you have to give instructions to the system that please display my product in this category, in this subcategory. So that is how you will be able to ensure that your products are displayed at the right place. And it can be a scenario that you have selected a wrong categorization. So it is another suggestion that I'm giving to you, that once you are done with the listing, please go to the navigation and see whether your products are appearing or not, and whether they are appearing in the right place. If they're not appearing in the right place, go back here and make the correction. All right. So these were the 2 points I wanted to share with you. The rest of the product upload process is explained in the video in quite great detail. So I'm not going to waste your valuable time there. You can obviously review it, and there are separate videos also available talking about the product upload process. So we will skip that. So once you are done with the product upload, you have to click on this home shaped icon, which will bring you to the screen. On the screen, you have to click on this button, and the journey gets completed. So this is how simple it was for you to create your online store, right? And quite often in my interactions, I have received this, I'll not call it a feedback, but a apprehension, a feeling that people feel like it is quite technical. In fact, the first question that we had in Q&A was a member who was not feeling confident, and the purpose of walking you through the video, obviously the video is available and there was not much of a merit in taking you through the process, but why I did that, why I wasted a few minutes of yours, is to help you understand how simple the process is. And by now you must have understood that it is all about typing or copy pasting the data, which anyone can do, right? It does not require specialized skills, or you need computer knowledge, or you need to have a coding degree or certificate. No, nothing of that sort is required. You have to just feed in information. You'll have the business information, you'll have the product information. Just feed that information and you'll be able to create a functional online store. And in today's day and age, there are AI tools also available. You can use that to create very engaging information. You can use that to create beautiful visuals as well. All right. So we are back on the seller panel because the process was not completed. So to complete the process in the left, obviously you have to upload the products, which I'm not uh, explaining. Obviously, you have to do that. You have to go to the catalog section and upload the remaining product, because for sure you will have more than one product. Once you are done with that, then you can go to My Store and you're going to apply themes as per your choice, and you can set up the navigation and you can upload the banners. Once you are done and once you are confident that the store is completed, then you have to come here. In the left side, you will see Indian Business Portal. You have to fill this form. This form, you will find it familiar. The information that we were seeing here, this entire information comes from this form. And I'll quickly walk you through this form. So are you a few member? Your IC, you have to verify it. You have to verify your IC number. Uh, Whether you're a proprietorship or not, you have to select the legal entity type, and then you have to select or specify in which year you started your business, whether you're merchant or manufacturer, exporter, or your service provider, whether you're MSME, what is the export turnover of previous 3 years. And often I get this question, we are a startup, what should we select? Less than $10,000, because less than can be any value. Countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to, how many employees do you have? Certificates is crucial because it gives that added level of trust to your business. Then advantage innovation, obviously you have to specify why should someone do business with you. And lastly, you have to specify what type of proposals you are interested in. You have to click on save, and once you are done, you will reach a submit request stage. Obviously this is a demonstration store and I don't have a valid IEC, so I'll not be able to show the submit request form here, but I'll show it to you at a different place. So there's a submit request form which will open up. On this form, you'll see it has two sides to it. The first one is the do's and don'ts. So please read this, but more importantly, watch this video. In this video, we have explained what are the reasons because of that your business may not get listed on Indian Business Portal. What are the issues that can stop your business from being listed on Indian Business Portal and how you can fix those issues. So problem as well as solution, all that is explained in this video. Please do watch this video. And once you are done and once you are confident that is absolutely no issue on my online store, then you should proceed ahead and you should submit the request. All the fields you will notice they are all pre-populated. You have to just select or agree to the terms and click on submit. The request gets submitted. It is reviewed by our operations team, which will take about 2 to 3 working days. If everything is in order, your business will start appearing on Indian Business Portal. If there are issues, they'll reject the request and they will also mention why they are rejecting the request. What are the issues? What are the shortcomings? They'll specify that. You can fix them and then you should submit the request. Again, very, very clearly, I'm trying to, as a recap, your mission is to be present on Indian Business Portal, right? So don't get distracted and don't stop till you have achieved your mission, right? So that should be what you should be focusing on. Once you have achieved this mission, the next mission should be to get maximum visibility. How will you do that? You have to ensure that your product is available or visible at the right places. So in the navigation, at the right navigation, it is displayed. So that is one thing that you have to do. In the search also, it is appearing. So when the search terms or someone comes and searches for your product is appearing there. It may be down, it may be up. You can work on the product content, improve the ranking, but you have to also work on that, right? So just listing this, making that connection, and just creating the online store, just doing the bare minimum will not help. You'll have to put in the effort. You have to solve this puzzle to how to get the visibility. So navigation, search, this should be perfectly fine. And then you should also work on doing your own promotions to bring in traffic to your own online store so that you can do business here. And this is a feature packed online store which you can very, very effectively use for your digital campaigns for SEO, SEM. Very effectively, you'll be able to use that and bring in the required traffic onto your website. Now, this is where I will turn off the screen share and we'll break into the question answer round. So I can see there are already 15 questions in the Q&A. So let's start discussing them. And if any one of you has already not added your question, please do that. In the meantime, while you are adding your questions, let me quickly share my contact details, and I will also share tutorials here, as I mentioned earlier. So allow me a couple of seconds to do that. In the meantime, please do add your question in case you have already not done that. All right, so the first thing that I'm sharing in the chat is my contact details, and you're all welcome, more than welcome to connect or contact me. The second thing which I'm sharing is tutorial content. I'm sharing links of few of the tutorial video, and I'm also sharing a link of a tutorial playlist, so which has about 55 or 60 videos, but around every aspect related to your online store setup, you'll find a video there. So this is another important thing. The next thing which I'm sharing with you are the contact details of help desk. That is another important point because if you come across a problem, if you come across an issue, you should reach out to us, and these are details using which you'll be able to connect with us. So you have the help desk contact details, you have the links of all the tutorial content, and you have my contact details as well. Now, many times in past, when participants were trying to copy the details from the chat, they were not able to do that. And to solve this problem, what I'm going to do after this webinar, I'll add these details in the description of the recording so that all of you can access it And I am also sharing the link of today's webinar's recording. All right. I've shared the link of today's webinar's recording also. And now we'll start looking into the questions. The first question I can see is from anonymous attendee. Sorry, I didn't looked at your question when I was explaining. I would have done that, but because now we are a little short of time, we have already overshot our time. So I'll request you please review the recording of the webinar, and you'll be able to understand the three methods using which you'll be able to connect with international buyers. Next question I can see is from Mr. Prem Nivas. So, Mr. Prem, your question is not clear. What did you wanted to understand? So, if you can explain about your question or share more details, or if you want, you can even connect with me on my email, and I'll be able to provide you a little clarity. Next question is from Mr. Kawaljeet. I already have a website. Do I have to create it once again? Yes, absolutely. You have to do that. And there are two reasons behind that. The first one is for data consistency. You may have structured your website in a particular way. I may structure my website in a different way, and that will create a lot of inconsistencies in the data. And you also saw features like request meeting. I'm not sure how we will manage that if everyone is using their own website, right? So there are certain features which are built to facilitate this exporter discovery and transaction. And for that, creating your own digital presence on the platform is crucial. Next question is from Mr. Soban. Wanted to His question is again about if we want to avail the services to get the online store created. Just go to Indian Business Portal, scroll all the way down. That's where you'll see there is a offer online store builder. Click on that page, and there are two packages. You have to subscribe to any one of the package as per your requirement, and our team will take it up. So this offer, in case the participants are confused, so this offer is or this service is for the members who want experts to create their online store. So if you want to avail that service, that is the place you have to go and subscribe to the offer. There are two offers, two packages. You can subscribe to any one of them as per your requirement. Uh, Next question is from Mr. Shankar. Mr. Shankar, if you're facing any issues, and I'm not sure why you're not able to specify your product as GI tag, do drop an email to the help desk. I've shared the email ID of the help desk. I'll do that once again, and you can mark me in the CC. I am also sharing my email ID with you. So please send an email to the help desk and mark a CC to me, and I'll get the issue resolved. The next question is from Mr. Prabhat, who wants to understand how do we ascertain that the buyer requirement or buyer is genuine or not. So when FIO publishes these RFQs, there is a level of authentication that they do, but it is your business and it is your responsibility to do due diligence. Neither FIO or nor Global Inker is guaranteeing or suggesting that these buyers are genuine. You have to do your due diligence, whatever information gathering or due diligence is required. Do that. Don't assume that these are genuine buyers. So this is where we are helping you connect, but you have to understand or evaluate the genuineness of the international buyer yourself. Next question is from Mr. Prashant Sinha. If I'm a multiple or product supplier, so you can select any industry, any one which is more significant to you. And with respect to the products that you're listing, so you can list all the products onto one online store. You don't have to create one online store each for each industry that you work in. You have to just create one online store, all the different various industries product, they're all put in onto one online store. But with respect to that question, like which industry should I select? Any one industry which is a dominant one or more important one for you, that is something that you should select. Moving on to the next question. Uh, Next question is anonymous identity. I'm not sure where you are seeing these inquiries. If you are referring to RFQs, those RFQs are not from Indian Business Portal. They are from Global Linker Marketplace. So on the dashboard, the RFQs. And as in case the audience is getting confused, let me clarify what I'm referring to. Let me start sharing my screen very, very quickly once, and then I'll go back to the question answers. So let's hide this one. So I think his question was related to the RFQs which are displayed here. These buyers looking for this one. So the international buyer requirements are displayed on Indian Business Portal. And let me open that here. They are displayed here. This is from Global Income Marketplace. They are not from Indian Business Portal. They are from Global Income Marketplace. At the moment, Global Income Marketplace is domestic, but it is going to transform into a cross-border B2B marketplace in future. All right. So I hope the segregation or the confusion is clear between the two places. All right. So let's look at the remaining questions quickly. So a few of the questions are repeated, so I'm just not taking them up. Next question is something which I've already explained, but I'm just sharing that once again because the member has asked, Savita ji has asked, wanted to understand from where we can get the GI certificate. So there is a GI registry in Chennai. You can Google about it and you'll be able to find the information. You have to contact them. There's a central authority in India. They are the GI certificate issuing authority. So you have to approach them and they'll be able to guide you with respect to what all documentation, etc. is required, and you'll be able to get the GI certificate from there. Next question is from Mr. Mahesh. So, Mr. Mahesh, you can also showcase your offering your service providers. You have to just productize your service, and you don't have to essentially show a price or you have to allow the customers to buy it. You can receive the inquiry, and once you get the lead, and in the software industry, that is the journal norm that you get the lead, you generate the lead, and you'll be able to generate the lead through Indian Business Portal. So you can create the online store. So interface is the same. It is just that you are adding your service information. With respect to images, you can use generic images or visuals. Next question is from Sheila Nayak, and very interesting question. Can we share the link? Use this online store for which we are creating through IBP for running social campaigns on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Yes, absolutely, certainly. This is your full-fledged, feature-packed online store that you should use. I can see there's a link shared by Rohan in the chat, seller.linker.stores. Rohan, this is the link of your control panel. And the control panel is the same for Indian Business Portal or for any global linker solution. Next question is from Mr. Yash. Uh, Vegetable powder is not listed. Yashi, I'm not clear about your concern, but if there's a technical issue you are facing or uh, in terms of category you are not able to find, drop me an email or you could drop an email to the help desk, mark me in the CC, and we'll look into it. So we can also add the required category if it is already not listed. Next question is from Mr. Hitesh. It is suitable for B2B business. Yes, certainly it is. It is a primarily a B2B platform. Majority of the sellers that you'll find, they are B2B sellers. There are B2C sellers as well, or there are sellers who uh, cater to both B2B or B2C. So those sellers are also there, but majority of them, if you go even right now, you'll find they are all B2B sellers. Is there a paid version? There is no paid version as such, but there is a paid service which is available, which is sometimes used by members who want a professionally created online store. For that, a service is available and which can also be reviewed from the homepage of online stuff. From homepage of Indian Business Portal, scroll down and you'll find a service called Online Store Builder. Uh, Next question, any PPT? I have shared the entire tutorial video list here. You can review that. Still, if you have any question, please do feel free to reach out. Next question, is Global Inker a private company or a government owned? What do you think? I am curious to understand. Obviously, it is a private entity. We are headquartered in India and we have presence in multiple countries, to name a few: Philippines, Sri Lanka, UAE. From Next question is from Mr. Munish. Question is, from where can we get quality specifications of various countries for Jaggery? Manuji, Mukeshji, would you like to answer this question? The
Yeah,
question
sir.
is related to Jaggery.
Just one request to him. Just mail drop. Suppose that drop one mail. Otherwise, you can check. Suppose that website of just like an India Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Same kind of website also. These kind of country have. In case if specification country, he may check there from there as well.
Sure. Thanks for answering that. Next question is from Binoj Varghese. Wants to understand if there is a subscription charge. No, there is no charge for the DIY platform, the free platform, free version. There is a freemium version or a advanced features which are also available. If you want to use advanced feature, then only you have to subscribe to that. Otherwise, it is free. I think that was the last. There is uh, a last question, and I am going to take a few minutes of yours because I want to answer that question in detail. And there's a member, I'm not going to take the name, who has asked for what is the kind of business, etc., which is getting generated. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the question, but I would like to answer it a little differently, and I will answer it with a story. And if you had attended my previous webinar, I had shared the shoe story that we have heard in our college days. Not that story, there is a newer story that I'm going to share with you. The story is of a gentleman. He was called Samuel Pierpont Langley. I'm not sure if any one of you have heard this name. He was a senior professional at Smithsonian, and he used to live in early 1900s in America, United States. And he was also a mathematics professor at Harvard's, and he was friend with senior government officials and Andrew Carnegie, Andrew and sorry, Andrew Carnegie and Abraham Graham Bell, very renowned personalities of that time. And he was given a grant of $50,000, early 1900s, I'm talking about, to create something. Any guess on what he was assigned to create? Because we have overshot the time, so I'm not going to spend the time in Q&A. He was assigned or he was given a mission to create aircraft, airplanes. But on the other hand, on 17 December 1903, the aircraft was created by Wright brothers. And surprisingly, because I've shared all the heavy credentials, like he was one of the most intelligent minds of his time, and he had all the resources, linkages, friends, money, everything was there. But actually, a team which did not even had a single person that had a college degree. They succeeded in creating the airplane, the first manned flight. They were able to do that, whereas a more resourceful individual with all the credentials of being successful did not. What was the reason? The reason was the passion behind what you are doing. So I think if you are able, or if you have that passion behind your business and you see this as a opportunity, if you see this Indian Business Portal, I'm referring to Indian Business Portal in the online store, as a tool to achieve your passion, then I think this question is irrelevant, right? All right, perfect. So this is where we'll conclude this session for today. Thank you everyone for taking out time and participating in this session. If there's a question, if there's anything which is not clear or you were shy of asking, drop me an email. You have my email ID, and you can drop me an email, or you can Google me and you can connect me with me on Google, Global Linker, LinkedIn, wherever you want. You can connect with me, and I'll be more than happy to help and guide you. Perfect. So this is where we'll conclude this session for today. Thank you, everyone, once
Thank
again.